Because if you don't come out and participate, somebody else will make decisions for you. So for me, I did not want somebody else to make decisions for me. But what I understood is that if we don't work in numbers, because if I show up at a community board or a local community precinct, if I show up alone, it's not as impactful as if all of us show up with a specific understanding of a mission. We want to make sure we have inclusion. We want to make sure we have equity.
Diversity, representation, and equal opportunity were among the big themes of the campaign platform recently when Guyanese American R Dimple Willabus cut the ribbon to officially open her campaign headquarters in Brooklyn, New York. Willabus is part of a list of Democratic hopefuls preparing for the primary election on June 22nd, ahead of the November general election for New York City Council District 46. Inspired to help shape a better future for her children and to see community leadership that is more reflective of and responsive to the concerns of the people who live in the community, Willabus ventured into the political arena. Should she secure this seat, it would be a historic win, making Willabus the first Guyanese American and the first woman to hold the post. Guyana Tapestry had the opportunity to chat with Willabus about her inspiration and motivation for seeking elected office in her community.
Awesome. Family, greetings. I am Pelham Van Kooten, aka Chico, and welcome to another edition of Guyana Tapestry. Today, this is a special stop. We are in New York City, Guyana Tapestry. It's special because we have the opportunity to speak with another Guyanese. Most Guyanese might be familiar with this young Guyanese woman doing amazing things in the community, and we have the opportunity to share it with you. R Dimple Willabus. For those of us who were born and raised in Guyana and we had the opportunity to grow up there within a specific time period, it was the 90s, the late 90s, and you remember Channel 9, at the time it was NTV.
Yeah.
Right, if I remember correctly. And Dimple Singh, you'll be familiar, Rhythm Nation. This is our Dimple. She is here in New York City, running for New York City Council District 46. And we are here to talk with her about her journey from Guyana and how it inspired her family. She's doing amazing work, but I am not going to preempt her. She's a journalist herself by profession, and we'll share a little bit about that and her path to councilwoman, because we're confident that Dimple will win this thing and bring it home. So please, Dimple, please share with the diaspora.
Well, first of all, thank you for making the journey from Maryland all the way to New York and to Brooklyn to come and attend last night our campaign headquarters opening.
I'm humbled.
Thank you. And we could not name this space an office. We had to have the word headquarters because not only the size, but because of where it's located. And I always tell people this is about favor because it's smack in the middle of the district because the district is so big and diverse. But just to answer your question, my journey from Guyana was one of which did not go without any challenges. After leaving Guyana, not by choice, my parents wanted us to travel to the US, as they call to fulfill our American dream, like many of us. So coming here was something not by choice. I was very comfortable in Guyana. I had Rhythm Nation. I owned a nightclub and bar on Sheriff Street. A lot of people may not remember that, but it was called Dimples with apostrophe S. And I was on the top of my game. I was always very motivated about giving back to the community. I was born and raised in Lodge, of which I tell people I'm always proud of, because being from the ghetto, being a ghetto.
Which part of Lodge?
Princess and Victor Street.
Look at that.
Princess and Victor Street. So, and our community may not be the richest community, but it was rich in terms of the culture, rich in terms of the love that people had.
Yes.
A lot of communities have money, but they don't have that love, and they don't have God in their heart. My dad had the liquor store and grocery store right at the corner of Princess and Victor Street.
Okay.
So everybody knew the Sings liquor store and grocery right there.
Who was your family?
Yeah, that's my dad.
Wait, in the corner?
Right at the corner.
When you're coming up Victor, before you turn on to Hatfield, those your house?
Princess and Victor, yes.
Princess.
Victor.
Okay, I think in Hatfield, my bad. Princess is on the other end by the bank ground.
Correct.
Yes.
Yes. So we were neighbors, so some of the best people, the burial ground.
So we lived on the other side,
Right.
Cemetery Road Northeast.
Correct. Oh no, I know exactly where you
Yes,
live.
that's where I grew up.
Right, and I
You
was
see
born
that?
and raised in Lodge.
Never know.
Born and raised. And like I tell people, you know, we need to go back to the old ways of doing things, which is thinking about your community and looking out for the children in the community. And it takes a village, literally the whole community, to raise a child. And we need to get back to those days. Coming here to America, like I said, it was not without challenges. But being here, one of the things I left Guyana with is that if I'm going to leave Guyana where I was, it must be something better than I'm going for. And
Betterment, as we would say.
yeah,
Betterment.
for, you know, betterment for not only me, for my daughter, who her and I had come here. And coming here to New York and to Brooklyn, which I always call the beast, because when you get here, you gotta know how to start running and walking. You have to know how to be able to start getting things done, and because you will get pushed to the side.
Yes, and you make a lot of reference to your upbringing in Guyana. And so obviously, I imagine that helped to prepare you. Why community development? Why politics?
The strange thing was that had anybody told me maybe 10 years ago that I was going to be running for New York City Council, I would say, I don't know. But when I look back, when I reflect on my past, it was just a natural rite of passage, because when you think about my journey in Guyana, getting into media, and well, first I should say, I started off modeling. I started off doing elocution competitions, poetry competitions in school. And I should always say that coming from Lodge and being able to get into St. Joseph High School, I always tell people access and opportunities for a better life and a quality education is unparalleled to anything. And I tell people that getting into St. Joseph was something that helped me to become a better person and a better child. When I graduated there, I had a comprehensive education, and being able to come, right, and that's high school, but coming here to America and being able to have that drive and passion to further my education. Because one of the things I did not want to be is just a housewife. Granted, I have a lot of respect for women who are housewives. You know, housewives have the hardest job, which is to raise the minds of the young next generation.
Nurture.
Absolutely nurture them, yes, of course, and develop their minds and you know, promote and provide for them and the family, which I do.
Right.
But
You're a mother and a wife yourself, yeah.
and I do all those things. However, I didn't want to just settle for that. I wanted to be able to push and be able to be the first one to graduate with a college degree, because one of the things I didn't want my two daughters to have is just, you know, just a high school education. So in order for me to tell my daughters this and tell my son, I have to be that example. I wanted to, and I chose to be that example.
And not just a degree, but a graduate. You know, you have your graduate studies.
Yeah, I have a master's degree in journalism, and I worked on also a master's in education. Moreover, teaching children who have special needs.
So you're leading by example.
Precisely.
You're leading by example. Tell us, you are running for City Councilwoman for District 46. What neighborhoods comprise District 46?
Yeah, so District 46 is very diverse. This is one of the reasons why my husband and I chose to live here.
Awesome.
And District 46 has a big diaspora of Guyanese living in Canarsie, Flatlands. I personally live in Mill Basin, but we also have Mill Island. We have Marine Park, we have Garrison Beach, we have Georgetown. Georgetown is a different Georgetown.
Right.
And then we have Mill Island, and we have, what did I miss anything? Garrison Beach. So it's a very big, very diverse community. And one of the things though, even though it's big and diverse, and we, the immigrant community, are here and very vibrant, we're not represented in public office.
I hear diversity and representation as part of what you are desiring by this platform. One, your desire to move to the community because of its diversity. And two, the need, you said, you felt that there's need for representation because there's such a large immigrant population, but they don't have a seat at the table. Tell us a little bit about that, some more about that.
Well, I believe that everything happens for a reason, and having the liquor store was a window into the community. and having the opportunity to meet over 5,000 residents. And the reason why how I know over 5,000 residents is because they're regular, exactly.
That'll bring them.
Yeah. So it's a liquor store, wines, we had lottery, and we sold different things.
Right.
So people would come, and the reason why I knew their mom, because as a business owner from Guyana, I have that background of knowing how to track who comes in. So we had a connoisseur club. The connoisseur club tracked every customer who came in, their purchases, how often they came, the names, details on them. So I was able to do the data and check to see who were coming. So in having those customers, I knew them by name. Even here, having the headquarters, people would just pass by and recognize me from the liquor store. Right. So hearing people's concern, and I was not only a business owner in the liquor store, I was a psychologist and everything at the same time, because people would come and talk about their issues and their challenges. Really a counselor, right? So people would come and talk their issues and stuff with me.
And we're not talking substance abuse.
No, we're really not talking that. But people would come and vent their upsets and frustration. I've served doctors, lawyers, construction workers, psychologists. I'm a psychologist to the psychologist. So you get to hear people's concerns, and I realized that they had the same concerns as I did.
About
we were not represented.
Yes.
We were not physically in office, and people like us were not sitting there representing us. So why would they have our best interests at heart, and why would they understand our concerns when they never stop to ask us what are our concerns? But according to them, they know our concerns and they're speaking for us. How could you speak for me when you've never actually asked me what are my concerns?
Understood.
So those were some of the reasons that propelled me to go forward, because how I look at it is my responsibility as a parent to pave a way for my children.
Right.
And if I don't pave a way for them, then who's going to care enough to pave a way for them? And my community have children, people who in the community have children too, who share the same sentiments.
Yes.
So,
and it's amazing because we had, like you mentioned earlier, Guyana Tapestry had the opportunity to be here last evening, Saturday evening, the 24th of April, for the launching of your official campaign office here in Brooklyn. And I want to make this plug and say that if you're Guyanese, if you are Caribbean, if you are just a person of concern for the community development, for the issues affecting education and so on and so forth, you need to be voting for Dimple. You need to find in those areas you called Mill Basin. Help me with them again.
Yeah, Mill Basin,
Canarsie,
Flatlands, Marine Park, Garrison Beach, Bergen Beach, Mill Island, Georgetown.
Right, all of those. You're living there, you're watching this video, you have an opportunity. The elections is on the 22nd of June this year. That's in about 2 months or so from now.
But we have early voting, which starts
right,
from the 12th of June to the 20th. And people can also request to have their ballot sent home, so they can do the mail-in ballot if they don't want to go to the physical polls.
And please tell them where they can find information to get further registration and to support your campaign in the next few months.
Oh, absolutely. So I've always tell people we're on every social media platform. So just look for me, and it's just Google Dimple Willabus, and that's Dimple. Willabus is Willabus. And I'm on Facebook, I'm on Twitter, I'm on Instagram, I'm on LinkedIn, and our website is www.dimplewillabus.com. And we're always looking for volunteers. And some people usually ask, oh, well, I don't live in your district, or I don't live in Brooklyn, how do I support? So I always tell people that you don't physically have to be here to support. You can share the content. You must know somebody who lives in Brooklyn or in New York. You can donate, you can support in so many ways, because every physical thing that we've accomplished is through somebody donating $1, $10, $100, how much ever they can afford. It's out. This is the product of people's hard work, of investing in us.
And the whole objective of Guyana Tapestry is to do precisely this. Guyanese like yourself in the community, who people may or may not be aware of just because of where we are, our various circles. We want to break that, transcend all of those boundaries, and ensure that you share and support representation. Here you are, you have a Guyanese who came from Guyana. We know you in the streets of Georgetown, the struggle, getting your education, doing your business, and you came to the US, you sent it up a notch, really several notches, and here you are running for political office, for public office. If that is not the epitome of pursuing a dream, of pursuing the American dream, I suppose, but is it really American? Because we all have dreams, right?
True.
And so I want to ask you at this juncture to share. There might be a Guyanese young woman, a Guyanese young man who is watching this, just like you back in Georgetown, in Guyana, who had a dream. And whatever it is, whatever kept you going, share with them, please. A few words of encouragement.
Absolutely, and I've always told people that I am resilient and the person I am today, not because of my successes, but because of my failures and the way in which I dealt with my failures and the way in which I dealt with my struggles. Because we all have struggles. Nobody's exempt from struggles. And when I came here, just like how the winters are cold, that's how some people treat you, and some of your very family members turn their back on you sometimes. And the people who you expect to be there, sometimes you're not there. And those are the things that made me more resilient and understand that I have to push forward. And even when you're exercising, you feel that burn. That's when you know that's when you have to push on further. And it's just like life. You have to push through that burn, push through that struggle. And sometimes you're not motivated. You're down. You're out. And that's when you really have to be a spiritual person. The spiritual part, if you have to kick in, I don't care what religion you are, but you must know that there's a God, and you have to be that spiritual person, because that's the only way you can really get through things. I'm a person of prayer, and I believe that through prayer a lot can be accomplished for it. And for the person who's watching, who need a word of encouragement, just understand, when you feel that burden and that hurt, that's when you know something great is about to happen, because you're at the bottom. And when I was at the bottom, there's no way else to go but rise. And God will lift you up. That's the only way. Family will fail you. Friends will fail you, but God will never fail you. Just know you can always count on Him. So if somebody's watching, I hope that encourages you, because I didn't get where I am today by favor of friends or favor of family. It's by favor of God speaking in people's heart and pushing me to make sure I get to the next level. And when you believe in prayer, a path is always created for you.
Come on, preach.
You know?
Yes.
And I'm just saying, those are some of the things that I've experienced.
Yes.
And one of the things I've instilled in my children is that no matter what you accomplish in life, I have 3 commandments in my house: respectful, thankfulness, and humbleness. Always remember those 3 commandments.
Respect, gratitude, and humility. I put it in my words.
And I'm very passionate about that.
Yes.
And, I tell people, when I go out to purchase something, if it's $5 or $1, I'm gonna buy it, and I'll wear it proudly, like I wear something that is $100 or $200.
Yes.
Because it's not about where you're wearing the price. It's about how you carry it that matters. The humbleness and the thankfulness and respectfulness.
And this dignity. And I was actually going to ask you to talk about habits and attitudes that you've developed along the way, but you pretty much mentioned it in your encouragement to young Guyanese and young people, pretty much nurturing a dream. I really just want to ensure that everyone knows that this is our Dimple Willabus, Guyanese, running for New York City Council District 46, and we are encouraging everyone to come out and support anything in the name of community development. Anything you want to say, Dimple, in terms of your platform as we close out?
Absolutely. I always tell people, before I started running for office or even entertaining the next step or next challenge in my life, I always tell people I have to build my foundation. My foundation is my children and my husband. And I don't say it, but I show it in how my children were raised. And I'm from a very old school family. My dad, even though he can afford certain things, he would not give you those things because you didn't need it. You just wanted it. So there's a major difference between needs and wants. And for us growing up, I only had 1 pair of shoes to go to school with, and that same pair of shoes I would go out with.
Was it a battle? Yeah.
Yes.
It was a battle.
It 100% was.
How
And I
I
kept
know?
it nice and black with polish.
Kiwi.
The kiwi. Okay now. So my battle was very nice and sharp and worked me through that whole school year. All of us had it, and the only way all my siblings had it, and we would know it based on the different sizes. You wear size 2, I wear size 3, whatever it is. And we would know some of my sisters know because it was not as polished as mine, because I'm one of those people who's super neat. But I've always taught my children the value and appreciation of the simple things. So those values and traits that my parents instilled in me. I only had one doll growing up. I had a white doll.
You have to be content.
Yeah, and now my doll could have a black doll and a brown doll, which is things that I want them to understand, that this is evolution. And when we go to the store, I give her a chance. Which one of the dolls you want? She went to the black doll and have hair like her because she don't have a white face and don't have blonde hair. So she went and picked the doll that she felt reflected of her. I didn't have that preference back when I was a kid. So some of the things that I've allowed my children to do is to understand and appreciate beauty and who they are, because sometimes we look at a television commercial and we want to look like that person that we see, but we don't look like that in a mirror. So if I always tell my children, appreciate what you look like and understand that's the beauty that God blessed you with, and that's the uniqueness about your beauty, your black or brownness.
Yes.
And you know, I said, you know, in terms of the reflection of my children and even my husband. When I met my husband, he had just joined the NYPD. He's also Guyanese. He's from Berbice and Linden. His family is from Berbice and Linden.
Right.
And you know, being able to walk beside him in his journey throughout his career, and he's a retired Marine, and now he's a lieutenant to the NYPD. And he's also a licensed soccer coach, and he, you know, coaches soccer. And my daughter and I, because what has been instilled in me in terms of reading and always having that great background from Guyana, I wanted to instill the same thing in my children. And Anaya, as you know, she's a 4-time published author.
Yes, I learned that as well.
Right, and you know, and my older daughter too, she's a teacher by profession with the Department of Education. My son, he's 11, but you know, he wants to be an engineer.
Okay.
And in order for me to go out into the world and try to tell people that I want to be a leader, I have to show a leader as a reflection of the leadership in my home. Charity begins at home. In order for us to have a powerful city, we have to have a powerful borough. In order for us to have a powerful borough, we have to have a powerful community. In order for us to have a powerful community, it comes back to the family. And from the family, come back to that individual. What do you stand for? Don't tell me where you stand for. I can talk all day about platform. But tell me about your background. Show me your home. Show me how your family live. Show me how your children speak. Show me your husband. I have it all and I show it here. And this is what it's about. I make sure I spent 30 years of my life building my family. So now I can stand firm. As you can see last night, they all came up and spoke.
Support you.
Because that's what I want to bring to the community, a family, because we need to get back to that community. And how community starts with family. We need that togetherness.
Thank you so much, Dimple.
You're welcome.
This is amazing, it's powerful, it's inspiring, and to our uniquely Guyanese audience, I was sharing with Dimple, I grew up as a young man under Dimple and Rhythm Nation in Guyana, and just to have the honor, I'm humbled to sit here. Some of my first words to you were my admiration of your courage and inspiration to pursue this path and to run for public office. As a Guyanese, I'm incredibly proud of this initiative of yours and your efforts, and I obviously support it, and so I'm here for that. Guyanese, in the areas mentioned before, come out and support Dimple. Cast your vote. Early voting from June 12th to the 20th. We know our own, we know of the character, and you hear how family and community are important elements of the forming of this person and this character, who will be the next councilwoman of New York City Council District 46. Guyana Tapestry will continue to follow Dimple's journey and her election to office, and even thereafter, we will also continue to track Guyanese in and through our communities who are doing amazing work, like our sister Dimple here. And we will continue to bring them to you. Thank you for your continued support and viewership. You are so all a part of the Guyana Tapestry and Guyana family, and it is my pleasure. I'm excited, Dimple.
Thank you.
And all the way, win GT.
I much appreciate you, and I must tell people again that my website really quickly to learn about my platform, because there's so much we can talk about, from youth services to senior services to housing to education, transportation, public safety. There's so many different pieces of it. You can go to my website at www.dimplewillabus.com, where you can learn about the different pieces of my platform and where I stand on different issues. And of course, I always welcome people's suggestions and ideas of where you feel as if something is missing and you'd like to see it in. We love and welcome suggestions and ideas. Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely, all a part of the community development. And as we would say in Guyana, put your money where your mouth there.
Absolutely, amen.
If you can't be here to support this Guyanese, she's running for office. Go to the website, donate, 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 contribute, contribute, contribute. There's no shortage of need for money to keep the message going and to get the campaign moving.
Absolutely, and I tell people if you cannot afford to donate, just share the content, share the website,
Right.
Share on social media. I mean, that's going far. Or call your family and friends who live in Brooklyn.
Live in the area.
Right, and if they're not registered to vote, we can help them to register to vote. They can come here at the campaign headquarters or just call me. We're located at 5012 Avenue N, which is N as in Nancy, in
Yes.
Brooklyn, and it's just off of Utica Avenue. It's centrally located. We have a lot
Heart
of
of
buses
Brooklyn.
come. Yeah,
Heart
it's
of
literally
Brooklyn.
the smack in the heart of Brooklyn.
Amen.
And smack in the heart of the district.
Yes, so come on out and support. All right, Dimple,
Thank you
amazing.
so much.
You got to win. The win is for you. GT, one love. Subscribe, like, share this content. All about Dimple. See you later on. We're popping up again somewhere else. Dimple, you got it, man.
You gotta lose. You got to be confident in yourself. You got to be confident in yourself. I'm never gonna doubt myself, cause I know my ability. Yeah. Mama used to tell me, son, work hard, you're gonna make it one day. I'm never gonna judge my friends, cause judging is not for me.